Hey, beautiful. Thank you so much for just coming back to us and remaining in red and setting yourself as a priority to watch this training ahead of time and really start to adopt these habits because these habits will change your life forever. It will help your yeses be yeses and your nos be nos. Amen. And as a recovering people pleaser, my entire life was based on what other people's needs were. And learning these habits and taking them into action every single day has not only changed my life, but it's transforming my business because I'm making my business based on my priorities. So, habit 3 is to put first things first. And that's really starting to live your life based on priorities, building your business based on priorities. And if you don't know what your priorities are, then guess what? The world's going to pull you in 87 different directions. And it doesn't matter if you're doing your business part-time, full-time. I can tell you one of the lies I told myself when I was a full-time teacher, a mom, a wife, all the things, and a sales director, I was like, oh, I'm going to get so much more done when Mary Kay is my full-time job, when I don't have a full-time job. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was more productive when I had a tighter schedule than I am when I have all the time in the world. Do you know why that is? It's kind of the same example of why retired people, every single retired person you've ever talked to will tell you they're busier now than when they were working. Do you know why that is? Because people fill your time for you. You fill your time for you when you have time to fill. And sometimes we don't fill them with good things, right? We fill them with scrolling, or we fill them with tasks that probably need to be done, but they're not time efficient tasks. They're not going to move you closer to where you're going in your life. And so in habit 2, we started to talk about, what your small business goals were, what your business goals were, where you wanted to be in 3 months. And as you start to develop these habits, you can think further out and apply these habits to your everyday life for like the big things. Okay. But for right now, we're going to narrow it down and we're all going to take a deep breath. And we're going to put the first things first. So how do you know how to do that? Well, in your workbook, there's a section there where you can really start to tailor. Mary Kay Ash asked us to put our life in this order, and it's God first, then family, then career. And to be honest with you guys, I will never, ever, ever push my faith on people or say you have to do XYZ. If you do not have that belief, then you can replace the faith with whatever is a priority for you in your life. But for me personally, I understand now why Mary Kay said that. And I used to just think like, oh, well, that's great. That's a great mantra. Like, yeah, that looks good on a postcard. God first, then family, then career. Now, as I am older, I have older children. I'm a little bit more mature in my life. I'm a little less in survival mode than I was previously. I can really understand that what I fill my time with, I'm going through this midlife awakening, I'm getting ready to turn 40. And I'm like, what's the point? Is it just to get to tomorrow? No, it's not just to get to tomorrow, right? Like what I do every single day matters because I might not have it tomorrow. And it's something that happens when you start to get older, or maybe as you've watched other people, lose their lives young or go through things like, my story, I lost my husband and I've lost other people in my life. I've lost grandparents, I've lost friends, like I've seen the preciousness of life. And so now as I'm getting a little bit older, I'm starting to realize like, wow, Mary Kay Ash really understood what she was doing, because when you start to prioritize your life, then you get that purpose-filled, joy-filled, peace-filled life that we have always heard about but never really experienced, that thriving versus surviving, because you are setting the direction of what you want to get out of your life. And for Mary Kay Ash and myself, it's God first, because I know enough to know now, right? Like, I'm not a baby Christian. I'm in my work. Like, I know, and I've tried to do it without him. So y'all, you've probably seen my seasons, when we were running for Pink Cadillac the first time, I was just having fun and it was great. And I didn't know any better. It was just good because I was fully relying on God in that season. When I had some measure of success, so this might be a little tale for you to be like, hi, #learn from Sam. I wasn't ready for what success meant, and I wasn't ready for feeling like I needed to earn that success. I felt like I needed to be good enough to drive a pink Cadillac, even though we were a pink Cadillac unit. And so I started trying to do everything on my own, and I started to try to like feel like I deserved it. And that's not what God was asking me to do. God was asking me to trust him, so he got the glory. And so in those seasons where I didn't put God as my business partner, y'all can see the results. And now I'm like, okay, I was the prodigal child. I didn't do it out of rebellion. I did it because I let the world tell me how unworthy I was. I let my intrusive thoughts and my past and my trauma and all the things tell me how unworthy I was and how I needed to earn it. When really God was like, no, you did the work and I did the watering of the seed and the abundance of the seed, and together, like, we're going to bring glory to our kingdom. And so when we start to build our life in that priority, and I now understand Mary Kay Ash a little bit more, because when you put him first and you're following his goals and his values, and you're following his word, and you're living with integrity, and you're working your business with integrity, and you're working your business with his heart, then you're going to see your family differently. You're going to be able to support your family differently, and you're going to be able to support your business differently. So as you're going through that worksheet, just kind of pray about it and figure out what those priorities look like for you. There's a couple of the reason why this is so important. Let's back that up a little bit. Okay. I'm talking about the overall starting to balance your life and priorities. When you know what is non-negotiable in your life, you can start building that into your schedule. And so you will have to say no to things. And those things might still be good things. So for me, in my schedule, I'll give you an example of what my planner looks like. Yes, I had to finally start using a planner. And this is what my an everyday could look like in my planner. I just had to make spaces. It doesn't matter what the spaces is. I've done this in a Walmart planner. This one I happen to love. It's a Court of Achievers planner. But up here, I put my 3 priorities. And my 3 priorities are my fitness and my faith, my family and my business. And the reason why I put my fitness in with my faith is because I knew that I wanted to honor God by moving my body and taking care of this temple, because I'm not getting any younger. And so I've stacked the habit of putting my gym time in with my Bible time. That's when I'm reading. I'm reading on the treadmill, which is weird, and it's a whole nother thing, but I can focus. It's weird, but I think that's the Lord. But anyway, the reason why I mention this is because when I brain dump, this is like my 6 list that Mary Kay asks us to do every single night before bed. And she always suggested that you have a little notebook next to your bed or your planner or whatever, and you brain dump, get it out, your 6 most important things that need to be done the next day. And so I've been really doing that. I don't do it before bed because I'm always tired before bed, and I'm lucky that I even do my skincare before bed, but I'll do it at the end of my workday. So when I know that it's time for me to check out and be with my family at night, right before I do that, I make my list for the next day. It's anything that carried over from the last day, anything that's a priority, anything that's in my brain that has to get done. And the beautiful part about that is when you identify what your 3 priorities are, and you look at the things that have to get done in your life, if they don't fit in those 3 priorities, then you probably don't have time for them. You don't have time for them. So let me give you an example. I have faith, family, and business, right? I know that my business is a priority. It should be a priority for you. If you're on this call, it should be a priority. Here's what I'm going to tell you why it's a priority. A, it's going to give you short-term income and confidence and growth for you and your family, but it's going to have long-term payoffs that you don't even know that you need right now. You don't know what's going to happen 10 years from now. So the customers you're serving, that's reoccurring income that could drop in your bank account when you need it, when you're not able to work your business. The team members that you're helping now, they might turn into superstars like Jordan Twilley, and you're going to get that commissions check, 5 years from now, as long as you're continuing to work your business. And so your business should be a priority, even if it's a part-time priority. We've learned in previous sections about doing IPAs. Last section, we worked on the habit, building the muscle of picking one new habit in the next 90 days. And maybe that one new habit was making booking attempts every single day, or 5 days a week, or 3 days a week. Or maybe your new habit that you need to do is picking up the phone and making a phone call once a day on a lunch break. Like you get to decide what those habits are that you're going to create, but your business should be a priority and it should be built into your schedule, whether you're part-time or full-time, because the payoffs are exponential. So let me give you an example of things that I learned once I started doing this that really weren't supporting my priorities in this season. So that's the other thing. Your priorities might change in different seasons, right? So my priorities in this season, if it's not time with my husband, time with my children, or Jesus and moving my body or my business, I probably do not have a spare second left for that. So I've had to say no to some friends' activities. I've had to say no to some community service activities that I might want to do. And I don't want to say no. I want to be a good human. I want to help with all the things. But I've had to learn that there's people in different seasons that can show up for that activity in a way that I can't right now, because my priority, I have small children. I have children that are getting ready to graduate high school. Like, they are a priority to me. Me being the best mom and wife that I can be in this season is a number one priority to me. And so me doing a community project right now, that's it. There's not enough hours in the day yet. And there was a season that I had extra time to do that. This is not the season to do that. And here's the really cool thing that I have learned about that. As I've taken a step back and starting to live my life and my priorities, by not hemming and hawing and be like, well, let me see, and then spreading myself so thin that I'm frustrated with my kids, that I'm short with my husband, that I'm living my whole life in my car, running here, there, and everywhere, or my business starts to suffer because I just need downtime, and Mary Kay is the thing that gets the downtime because it's flexible. Now, because I'm living in my priorities, instead of having all those experiences, I can just say, I really would love to do that, but it's not something that I can do at this time. And that's okay. There's going to be somebody, the world is not going to come to an end. There's going to be somebody that is able to step up, and it's a blessing that they get to step up and chair that committee or do that thing, and it's going to help them grow. Like, we don't want to take blessings from other people by thinking we have to do everything, because you don't. You don't. And God doesn't want us to have that life of hustle. Like, He doesn't need your help to do every single kingdom work. Now, if something comes to you and you feel led to do it, then guess what? Then that's probably priority following God, right? If God's like, I need you to go feed these people, then that's a priority because it's part of your faith column. God directed you to do that. It's in your heart. You can't let it go. It's nagging at you. It's gnawing at you. Like, the Holy Spirit's prompting you to do that, okay? I'm not saying those things. I'm saying the pressure you feel to be the team mom, or the pressure you feel to put together the goodie bags for all of the people for these things that nobody's going to even know that you did or didn't do that. So there is a weekly plan sheet, which is a tool for you to use. Am I saying you have to use it? No. Is it helpful? Absolutely. What it helps you to really see, even if you just start to use it in the beginning, is put in all the things that you already have that week that you are committed to. Doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, if you work a full-time job, if you take a lunch break, if you for me, I know the sports practices, I know what time I have to stop what I'm doing and pick up the kids, I know where I'm going. Like, put all of those things in, and it will show you what you have left over. And here's the challenge that I'm going to give you. It's not if you can work your business, it's how can I work my business in these times that are left over? What am I spending my time on during those times that I'm prioritizing over my business or my faith or my family? And I noticed that I was spending a ton of time in downtime, scrolling on my phone, checking out, watching TV, watching Netflix, reading books, and I don't have a problem with any of those things. But I do have a problem if it's taking away from my priorities and I'm not living my life to the fullest. Do I enjoy my life? Yes. Am I hustling, grinding all day long? Absolutely not. Rest is so important. I do not want to build a hustle and grind culture, okay? Hear my heart. Not doing it. But when you work in your priorities, you will have downtime. You will also be able to see how much downtime you have. And are you able to spend that time doing your business? And guys, with it working virtually right now, these are a ton of my little glow packs that I'm sending out for Facebook events that I have pre-recorded the video for, and it's loading into the Facebook event, and I just need to get them out their samples. And so I can be sitting at a soccer field on a Wednesday night from 7:30 to 9, where I'd already had to be there anyway, and working from my phone because my event was pre-recorded, and they're getting on and following along with me and using their glow pack. It's not if you can work your business, it's how. And to help us as your directors and your leaders help you figure out how to work your business, we have to know what your schedule is and where you have space and availability. And you also have to be willing to go like, can I shift things around to make it a little more functional? And that's the last thing that I'll leave you with is once you start to look at that, really pray over it and ask yourself, not beating yourself up, but is there something I can slide or shift to maximize this time that I have? So let me give you an example. I have during the day, there's time spots during the day that I could work, but I was finding that I was prioritizing my gym time, which is my gym and Bible time. And I'm not going to take that away because I know that when I'm focused with eyes on him and I'm moving my body, I'm going to honor him better, right? But I was finding during my day, I'm just taking too much time driving to, driving back. And so I started thinking about it. I was like, wow, if I got up and went to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, or 4:30 and got back before Wesley left, I'd have my whole day to work and I wouldn't be stopping and starting and yada, yada, yada. And that just doesn't work for me. I'm not a 4:30 a.m. gym girl. It's not going to happen. I can make myself do it in discipline. I'm not going to do it. Okay. But here's what did happen. I realized that instead of being a 5:30 gym girl, which I could not, I could be a 6 o'clock, get up an hour before the kids get up, come in my office and pre-schedule out some text and do any pre-recordings that I need to do while I'm sipping on my coffee, or put together any social media post, or pack any sample packs that I need to while I'm sipping on my coffee and listening to worship music before everybody gets up. I could do that so I didn't feel as guilty about going to the gym and spending that time after I got the kids off to school. And I felt productive in my day. And so I could shift that around, but I didn't realize that until I got into a routine of doing my business and living in my priorities. So I am praying over you. I'm excited to talk on Monday about how this has shifted for you. I want to talk about your schedule. So bring your weekly plan sheet with you on Monday and let's talk about it. Some big ahas you had. How does that align with your goals and priorities? Or maybe if you're just like, girl, I need help. I don't even know where to start. Bring that on Monday too. I love you and I'm praying over you. You can do this. And this is going to change so much more than just your business when you're living your life in your priorities. Bye, beautiful.